Daniel, are you sure about this? My mom, Linda, asked, her voice soft but firm. She was sitting on the couch, hands folded, eyes tracing the floor as if she could see right through my stubbornness. I have to, Mom, I said, looking down at my hands. Emily's dream, it's important. I can make it happen. Linda shook her head slowly. I just don't want you disappearing in this. Love isn't supposed to cost everything you have. I leaned forward, desperate to convince her. Mom, I've thought about it. I can handle it. I sold my bike. I'm working extra hours, and I borrowed a little from Mr. Kapoor. She deserves this chance. Linda sighed, but she didn't argue. All right, just be careful. Don't lose yourself while you're chasing someone else's dream. I smiled weakly, knowing she was right but unwilling to hear it. I won't. I promise. Later that week, I met Ryan at the coffee shop. His brow was furrowed, the usual smirk replaced by concern. Man, you really think this is a good idea? He asked, stirring his black coffee like he could find the answer in the swirls. It's the only way, I said. Emily's worked so hard. She deserves this chance in the UK. I can handle the rest. Ryan leaned back, shaking his head. Daniel, you're pouring everything into her. What if she, I don't know, changes? What if she forgets you when she's over there? I laughed, more harshly than I intended. Stop saying that. You don't understand. This isn't about me. It's about her future. Ryan stared at me, frustration in his eyes. I understand too well. Don't let love blind you, man. I've seen it happen. I can't handle it, I said again, though a tiny part of me shivered. Emily called that night. Her voice was bright and nervous. Daniel, guess what? My visa came through. I jumped up from the chair. No way. Are you serious? Yes. All the paperwork, everything's done. I leave next week. I laughed and shouted, this is amazing. I'm so proud of you. She giggled. I couldn't have done it without you. You're my rock, Daniel. Her words made my chest ache in the best way. I could hear the sincerity in her voice. I'll always support you, Emily. Always. She paused. Promise me something. Anything. Promise you'll wait. I won't be gone forever. I'll come back for you. I felt a lump in my throat. I promise, I said without hesitation. No matter how long it takes. The week flew by. I worked extra shifts at the shop, taking late-night deliveries and double shifts at the warehouse. I didn't mind the exhaustion. Every extra hour meant another bit closer to Emily's future. The night before her flight, I visited her apartment. The smell of her coffee lingered, the faint scent of her perfume floating in the air. Daniel, thank you, she said softly as I handed her the envelope with the last of her tuition money. I don't know what I would have done without you. You don't have to thank me, I said, taking her hands in mine. This is my choice, Emily. I want you to chase your dreams. She looked up at me, her eyes shining. I promise I'll come back, no matter what. I smiled, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. I believe you. I always will. The morning came fast. At the airport, I held her close, ignoring the stares around us. Daniel, she whispered, tears brimming. I'm scared, but I have to do this. I held her tighter. I know. You're going to do amazing things. And I'll wait for you every single day. Emily hugged me one last time before stepping toward the gate. She turned and waved, mouth forming a small, confident smile. I'll be back. For you. I watched her go, trying to engrave the memory of her face in my mind. I whispered to myself, come back to me. I'll be here. After she left, I walked outside the airport and called Ryan. She's on the plane, I said, my voice quieter than usual. You're crazy, man, he said. You really think this will work? I have to, I said, staring at the empty street. I can't think any other way. I gave her everything. I believe she'll come back. Ryan sighed. Just don't lose yourself while you wait. I hung up, my hands trembling slightly. Deep down, I knew he was right, but I refused to let doubt creep in. I believed in Emily, in us. No matter what it took, I would wait. I would sacrifice, because this was love, and nothing else mattered. Even as the plane disappeared into the clouds, I whispered to the sky, "Come back to me, Emily. I'll be here. Always." "Daniel, you there?" Emily's voice buzzed through the phone. "Hey, Em, how was your day?" I asked, smiling even though she was halfway across the world. "It was okay," she said, almost hesitantly. "Just okay." I laughed. "Did you meet new people? How's the campus?" "Yeah, people are nice," she said softly. "It's busy." I hesitated. Something in her tone was off. Busy good or busy bad? "Busy, I guess," she said. The pause that followed felt heavier than any silence we'd ever shared. "Are you okay?" I asked, concern creeping in. "I'm fine, Daniel." "Really?" she said quickly, almost too quickly. I frowned, trying to hide my unease. "Okay, just call me if you need anything." "All right." "I will," she whispered. "Thanks." After she hung up, I stared at the ceiling, heart tightening. Something had shifted. The next day, I called again. "Emily, how's it going today?" "Busy," she said flatly, barely lifting her voice. "Class, assignments, library." "Library?" I asked, trying to keep my tone light. "Doing extra work already?" She hesitated. "Yeah, everyone's so competitive, hey. I need to keep up." I nodded to myself. Competitive? Huh. But I felt the sting of distance in every word. Later, I met Ryan at our usual spot. "You're quiet," he said, sliding a coffee across the table. "I'm fine," I said automatically. "Emily's just busy." Ryan leaned forward, eyes sharp. "Daniel, she's changing. Don't ignore it. You're giving her everything, and she's drifting." "I don't believe that," I said defensively. "She's just adjusting. I trust her." Ryan shook his head. "Trust is one thing. Blindness is another." I clenched my jaw. "I'm not blind. I know what she's like." "You think you do?" Ryan said softly. "Just be careful." I ignored him, telling myself he was overreacting. But a seed of doubt had been planted. That night, Emily called. "Daniel, I need some help. My rent's higher than I thought. And I'm running low on money." "Of course," I said immediately. "I'll send it tonight." "Thank you," she said, voice lighter than it had been. "You always know how to help me." "Always," I said without hesitation. "Just promise me you'll be careful." "I will," she whispered. Days passed. Calls became shorter, texts delayed. She mentioned a new classmate casually. "Oliver's helping me with chemistry." "Oliver?" I asked. "That's nice." "Yeah," she said. "He's smart. We study together sometimes." I nodded to myself, swallowing the unease. Study partners are fine. "I trust you, Emily." "I know," she said lightly, but I caught a trace of something I couldn't place. Ryan noticed my mood the next day. "You okay? You look like you're carrying a storm in your chest." I forced a laugh. "I'm fine. Just worried about Emily. That's all." Ryan shook his head again. "Worried or afraid? There's a difference." I didn't answer. I didn't want to admit the fear growing inside me. 2 weeks later, I sent her another transfer when she said her groceries were expensive. "You don't have to keep sending me money," she said, voice soft, almost guilty. "I don't mind," I said. "It's nothing compared to what you're achieving." "I know, Daniel, thank you," she whispered. But something was changing. I could feel it. Her words felt polite, measured, as if she was practicing them. Ryan called me later that night. "You can't ignore this forever. She's different." "She's not," I said immediately. "She's just adjusting. Give her time." "You're lying to yourself," Ryan said. "I've seen this before." "I'm not lying," I said through gritted teeth. "I trust her. She'll be back for me." Days turned into a week. No call. No text. My phone felt heavier than ever. I tried calling. She didn't pick up. The next day, I called again. Nothing. My chest tightened with panic. "Emily, please answer," I whispered to the empty room. Ryan came over. "She's not answering." "No," I said, voice shaky. "I don't understand," she promised. Ryan put a hand on my shoulder. "Promises don't always mean what you think. People change. Sometimes you have to face that." "I can't," I said. I can't accept it. She can't just disappear like this. I spent the next night staring at my phone, willing it to light up with her name. Emily, please, I whispered, scrolling through our old messages. Say something, anything. Every buzz, every vibration, I jumped. But it was never her, not even once. I felt my chest tighten, anxiety clawing at me. Loneliness pressed down like a heavy weight. I told myself I was overthinking, that she was just busy. But the truth gnawed at me. Something had changed, and I couldn't reach her. By the third day, I didn't sleep. My mind replayed every conversation, every laugh, every promise. I tried calling again, but the phone went straight to voicemail. My hands shook, and I whispered to myself, Emily, please. Just call me. I'll wait. I always wait. I stayed at the phone, willing her to appear, willing her to tell me it was nothing, willing her to come back. But the screen stayed dark, and silence filled the room. Emily, can we talk? I asked, staring at the screen as her face appeared on the video call. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Sure, Daniel. What's up? Why haven't you been answering my calls? My voice was trembling. Weeks have passed, Emily. I need to hear from you. She looked away, biting her lip. Daniel, there's something I need to tell you. My heart skipped. Tell me what? Emily, please, just be honest. She exhaled slowly. I'm engaged. I blinked, unable to speak for a moment. Engaged. My voice cracked. To who? James. From my program, she said quietly. He is British, and his family, well, they have money. They are really supportive. I felt my chest tighten, like someone had slammed a door on it. Wait, what? You engaged. You're leaving me for him. It's complicated, she whispered. I didn't mean to hurt you. Not mean to hurt me. I shouted, my voice breaking. Emily, I gave you everything. I sold my bike, worked extra hours, borrowed money. I made your dream happen. And this is how you repay me. She flinched. I've changed, Daniel. I just outgrew us. Outgrew us. My hand shook. Outgrew us. Are you serious? Our time together, was it all a joke to you? It wasn't a joke, she said, almost pleading. My feelings changed. I felt hollow. My stomach churned, and I wanted to throw something at the screen. Changed? Do you know what you're saying? You used me. You used me to get what you wanted. I didn't see it that way, she said, voice panicked. I don't care how you saw it. I trusted you. I believed in you. I gave everything for you. Her eyes darted away, avoiding mine. Daniel, I'm pregnant. The words hit me like a punch to the gut. I staggered back from the screen. Pregnant? That's your plan? You engaged and pregnant? This isn't Faye. None of this is Faye. I didn't plan it like this, she said, almost whispering. I didn't know. I ran my hands over my face. You didn't know? You didn't know? Emily, do you even realize what you've done to me? I'm sorry, she said softly. I really am. Sorry. I shouted, my voice echoing in the empty room. Sorry doesn't fix this. I worked my ass off for you, Emily. I believed you. And you moved on without me. I didn't want to hurt you, she whispered again. Then why? My throat tightened. Why didn't you just tell me? Why lead me on? Was all of this just a phase for you? It wasn't a phase, she said quickly, but I didn't believe her. I turned away from the screen, heart pounding. My hands shook as I whispered to myself, a phase? Everything was just a phase. Hours later, my phone buzzed. It was a message from someone named Sarah. Daniel, it's Sarah, Emily's friend. I think you need to know the truth. I stated the message. What do you mean? I typed, hands trembling. She's been seeing James for months before she left. She told me not to tell you, but you deserve to know, Sarah typed back quickly. I felt like the floor had dropped beneath me. My mind spun. What? What do you mean months? She, she was planning this, Sarah continued. All the money, all the sacrifices, she knew. She told me it was easier if you funded her dream, and she'd move on when she settled there. I dropped my phone onto the bed. I felt like I was suffocating. No, this can't be real. My thoughts spiraled. She used me, everything, all those nights, all those promises, as stepping stone. I'm nothing to her. I opened my messaging app and typed furiously. Emily, are you serious? Did you really use me like this? No response. I tried calling. Straight to voicemail. I left a trembling message. Emily, why? Why did you do this to me? I loved you. Nothing. I paced my room, pulling at my hair. My mind repeated every memory, twisting it into betrayal. She laughed with me. She promised me. And this was the truth. She lied. Every single word, a lie. I felt tears prick my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. Rage and humiliation surged through me. I can't believe I trusted her. I was a fool. A damn fool. I called Ryan. Ryan, she's engaged. Pregnant. She used me. Ryan was silent for a moment. Daniel, I tried to warn you. I didn't want to hear it, I said bitterly. I wanted to believe her. I wanted her to come back for me. You can't change what she did, Ryan said softly. You have to cut her out. Block her. Move on. I stared at my phone, fingers hovering over her name. My chest ached. But Ryan was right. I couldn't let her continue to hurt me. I pressed the buttons, one by one. Block on messaging, block on social media, block on calls. Her digital presence disappeared from my life. I sank onto my bed, phone in hand, staring at the blank screen. My world felt shattered, hollow. Every memory of her, every sacrifice, every word I believed in, it all felt like ashes. I whispered to myself, voice trembling, she's gone. She's gone, and I have nothing. I curled into myself, staring at the ceiling. My chest burned with betrayal, anger, humiliation. I wanted to scream, to break something, to let the world know the pain she'd caused. But all I could do was sit there, letting the silence swallow me. The girl I loved, the girl I trusted, she was gone, taken by her own ambition, leaving me with nothing but betrayal and memories that now felt like chains around my heart. I realized, in that crushing moment, that I had been a stepping stone, and stepping stones are always left behind. I didn't sleep that night, or the next. My room felt smaller than ever, every shadow reminding me of Emily, every quiet tick of the clock pressing my failure into my chest. Daniel. Mom's voice broke through my haze. Linda knelt beside my bed, placing a hand on my shoulder. You can't stay like this forever. I can't, Mom, I whispered, voice hoarse. She used me. Everything I did, wasted. I know, sweetie, she said gently. But wasting yourself won't bring her back. You're worth more than someone who treats you like that. I feel worthless, I admitted, staring at my hands. I don't even know who I am anymore. Linda sighed, squeezing my hand. You are Daniel, the man I raised, who worked hard, loved deeply, and survived. You're still him, even if it doesn't feel like it now. I don't know if I can get him back, I muttered. You will, she said firmly. But first, you have to stop punishing yourself. Later, Ryan called. How are you holding up? I'm not, I admitted, voice breaking. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I feel like I'm falling apart. You're allowed to feel that, he said. But sitting there won't fix anything. You need to do something. Start small, even if it's just standing up, Daniel. I don't even know where to start, I said, staring at the ceiling. Then start with me, Ryan said. Come to the office tomorrow. I have someone I want you to meet. I groaned. Ryan, I can't think about work right now. I'm not ready. You as ready as you're going to be if you sit there crying, he said bluntly. Trust me. Just come. 1 hour. The next morning, I shuffled into Ryan's office, still feeling hollow. Daniel, he said, clapping me on the back. Meet Mr. Thompson. A tall man with gray hair and sharp eyes looked at me. You're Daniel, he asked, voice crisp. Yes, I said, voice weak. You're late, he said immediately. I'm sorry, I stammered. I don't care about the apology, he said. I care about results. You're here to work, or you're wasting both our time. I swallowed hard, feeling something ignite in my chest. I can work. I'll do my best. Good, he said, finally softening. Then let's start. Ryan smirked at me. See, told you he's not scary. He's terrifying, I muttered under my breath. Over the next few weeks, I threw myself into learning everything Mr. Thompson demanded. Every morning, I arrived early. Every night, I stayed late. Daniel, Mr. Thompson said one afternoon, reviewing my progress. You're improving. Keep this pace, and you'll be ready for real responsibility soon. Thank you, sir, I said, try not to let my voice shake. You should thank yourself, he said. Not her, not Ryan. Yourself. You've been through hell. Now prove you're stronger than it. On the way home, I called Ryan. His demanding, but I think I can handle it. I told you, Ryan said. You just needed a push. You can't rebuild by sitting in your room. I know, I said quietly, but it's hard. Every time I feel a little stronger, a memory of Emily hits me like a brick. That's normal, Ryan said. You can't erase her. You can only move forward. I keep thinking about how I gave her everything, I admitted, and she just left. Used me. Ryan was silent. Then he said, then let that pain drive you. Don't let it destroy you anymore. Build your life. Show her what she lost. I nodded to myself. Maybe he was right. Maybe survival was better than revenge. Maybe I needed to focus on me. Mom checked on me that evening. How's Wyke? She asked, setting a plate of food in front of me. Challenging, I admitted, picking at the food. Good, she said. It's what you need. Purpose. Something to keep your mind busy. I feel different, I said. Like I'm finally doing something for me, not for her. Linda smiled. That's because you are. Remember who you are, Daniel. Remember what you can do. I swallowed hard, feeling a flicker of something I hadn't felt in months. Hope. The days blurred together. I trained, learned, and worked harder than ever. Mr. Thompson pushed me beyond limits I didn't know I had. Ryan kept me accountable, calling, checking in, dragging me out of the house when I wanted to collapse into my old self. One evening, Mr. Thompson said, Daniel, you've changed. You're focused. You're disciplined. You're not the same man who walked in hay. I guess not, I said, surprised at how calm my voice sounded. You're stronger now, he said. And that strength, it's yours. Not hers. Not anyone else's. Yours. I walked home that night, staring at the street lights. My chest felt lighter. My mind, though still scarred, was clear. I could breathe without thinking of her. I could walk without the weight of betrayal pressing me down. Ryan met me outside. You okay? He asked, raising an eyebrow. I think I am, I said quietly. I'm learning to be okay without her. That's the first step, he said, smiling. Next, we rebuild everything else. I nodded, looking up at the sky. Stars glittered faintly, and for the first time in months, I felt like Daniel again. Not the man Emily left behind, not the broken one. Just Daniel. Thanks, Ryan, I said, for not letting me stay down. You do the same for me, he said. Now, let's keep moving forward. You've got a life to rebuild. I smiled faintly. Yeah, a life to rebuild. That night, I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, replaying everything that had happened. The hurt was still there, sharp and raw. But beneath it, I felt something else, determination. I would survive. I would work. I would heal. And when the time came, I would stand taller than I ever had before. The pieces of my broken life were scattered everywhere, but slowly, I began to pick them up, one by one. Daniel, are you free tonight? Emma asked, her voice calm and warm over the phone. I am, I said, smiling. Want to grab dinner? Perfect. There's a new Italian place near the park. I thought we could try it. Sounds great. I'll meet you there, I said. I felt lighter these days. Stable. My career had taken off under Mr. Thompson's guidance. I was financially secure, emotionally stronger, and somehow at peace with the past. Meeting Emma had changed things too. She didn't judge me, didn't ask about Emily unless I wanted to talk. She just understood. At dinner, Emma laughed softly at something on her phone. You look like you're thinking a million thoughts, she said, sipping her wine. I guess I am, I admitted. It's weird. I've spent so long replaying the past. I almost forgot how normal conversation feels. Emma smiled gently. You deserve normal. And peace. You've earned it. I felt a warmth I hadn't known in years. Thanks, Emma. That means a lot. After dinner, I walked home, enjoying the quiet streets. My phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. Daniel, it's Emily. I froze. My fingers hovered over the screen. For a moment, part of me wanted to delete it immediately. Another part, curiosity. I opened the message. Daniel, I don't know who else to reach. My life, it's falling apart. James left me. His family, they don't want me. I'm struggling. Please, I need help. I read it again, disbelief and a strange calm washing over me. I typed back instinctively. Why now? No response for a few minutes. Then, I know I hurt you. I thought I wanted something else, but it all went wrong. Daniel, I don't know what to do. I put my phone down and let out a deep breath. My chest felt heavy, but not with anger, not with happiness, just clarity. I called Ryan immediately. You won't believe this, I said, voice steady. Emily messaged me. Her life's a mess. Finally, Ryan said after a pause. Does it feel good? I shook my head. No, not really. I don't feel satisfaction. I just understand now. I have no stake in her life anymore. You're free, Ryan said simply. That's the point. Yes, I whispered. I am. The next day, Emily called. I didn't answer. Another text. Daniel, please. I'm begging you. I stayed at the screen. My thumb hovered over the call button. Then I shook my head and put the phone down. I didn't want to insult her. I didn't want to help her. I didn't need to. Emma noticed my distraction later. Everything okay? She asked. I hesitated. It's complicated, I said. An old part of my life reached out. I don't need to get involved. She reached over, touching my hand. Then don't. You've come too far to let someone from the past drag you back. I nodded. You're right. Hours later, I received another message. Daniel, I know I hurt you. I never imagined this would happen. Please, just hear me out. I typed a single word and deleted it. Then another. Nothing. Eventually, I blocked her number. I blocked her social media. She no longer existed in my world. Sitting on my balcony that evening, Emma beside me, I felt lighter than I had in years. I watched the city lights, thinking about how things had changed. I was stable. I was happy. And for the first time, I realized the power had shifted. Emma smiled, nudging me gently. You've done something most people can't. You let go without bitterness. I think I finally understand, I said. Karma didn't need to rush. It just arrived. Emma tilted her head. And it gave you peace instead of revenge. I nodded. Exactly. I could be angry. I could rejoice in her downfall. But it wouldn't change me. I've worked too hard for this life. Ryan called later that night. So, did you see her message? Yes, I said quietly. And I did nothing. I didn't reply. I didn't call. I blocked her. You feel good? He asked. Better than I imagined, I said. I don't feel satisfaction or revenge. I just feel free. Like she's a part of the past that doesn't touch me anymore. That's growth, my friend, Ryan said. You finally walked away the right way. The following week, I met Emma at the park. We laughed over coffee, talked about future plans, and shared dreams I hadn't dared to think about in years. I noticed how calm she made me feel, how grounded I was with her. She didn't need to know all my scars, and I didn't feel ashamed for having them. You seem lighter, she said, studying me. I admitted. I finally let go of someone who never deserved me. And I realized, my life is mine now. No one else can take it. She smiled softly. Good. That's exactly how it should be. A message buzzed on my phone again. Emily. I didn't open it. I didn't need to. I slipped the phone into my pocket and turned to Emma. Want to walk? I asked. Absolutely, she said, linking her arm through mine. As we walked, I thought about the past, about betrayal, loss, and broken trust. But instead of pain, I felt clarity. I understood that her choices were hers and had nothing to do with me anymore. I had rebuilt my life. I had found love and stability in a place where trust was mutual. The power had shifted completely. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need closure. I just needed to live, to breathe, to move forward. Karma had arrived, not as vengeance, but as balance. Emily faced the consequences of her choices naturally, and I faced the gift of freedom. For the first time in a long time, I smiled without hesitation. This feels right, I said to Emma as we passed under a streetlight. It does, she said, squeezing my hand. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. The past was behind me, and the future, well, it was finally mine. And I walked on, lighter, stronger, and free. My phone buzzed while I was reviewing documents. Emma asked. The name on the screen, her voice calm and warm over the phone. Emily. I am Daniel. I said. The message read, "Can we grab dinner? I need to see you one last time. There's a new Italian place near the park." Thumb hovering over the screen. I thought we could try it. Part of me wanted to delete it immediately. I'll meet you there. Another part. I felt lighter these days. I called Ryan. Stable. She wants my career had taken off under Mr. Thompson's Are you sure that's a good idea? I was financially secure. Know. I emotionally strong, but I think I need to see somehow, not for closure with the past, but to confirm meeting Emma had changed things. That I'm no longer the same judge man she heard. Didn't ask about Emily unless he said reluctantly. She just be careful. Understood. The day came. Emma arrived at the cafe. Something on her phone. Early. You look like you're thinking a million thoughts. My heart beat normally, sipping, not racing with panic. I guess I am. I was calm. It's measured, weird, prepared. I've spent so long a few minutes later. Past. Emily, I almost forgot how normal conversation feels. But I noticed Emma smiled gently. Eyes. You deserve normal, she said softly. Thank you for agreeing to meet me. I felt a warmth I hadn't known in years. I replied, thanks, Emma. That means a lot. She sat across from me. I walked hands home, folded on the enjoying the quiet streets. I wanted to apologize. A message from an unknown number. I was selfish. Daniel, it's Emma. I hurt you. I looked at her for a long moment. My fingers hovered over the words felt hollow. For a moment, I heard you the first time. Part of me wanted to delete it immediately. Do you expect me to feel curiosity? I opened the message to ease Daniel. Emily's eyes. I don't know who else to reach. My life. I just wanted you to know I regret it. James I never meant to break you like his family. They don't exhaled slowly. I'm struggling, feeling a strange clarity. I need help. Emily, I read it again. You did break disbelief in a strange calm washing that version of me doesn't exist. I typed back instinctively. She looked up now, startled. No response for a few minutes. You're different. Then I can see it. I know I hurt you. I said, I thought I wanted something else. I've grown. But it all went wrong. I survived. Daniel, I rebuilt myself. I don't know what to do. While I put my phone down and let out a deep breath. I'm not here for revenge. My chest felt heavy. Not for anger. But not with anger. I'm here to confirm that I am free of the old me. Clarity. Emily's lips trembled. I called Ryan immediately. I don't know what to say. I never imagined. Voice steady. Emily don't say anything. I interrupted gently. Finally, you don't owe me an explanation. Said after a pause. I don't need Does it feel good? And I certainly don't need closure from you. No, that's mine to claim. Really. I don't feel satisfaction. She stared at me. Regret edged across her face. I have no stake in her life anymore. Daniel, I wish things had been different. Ryan said me too. I said softly. But wishing changes nothing. I forgave you a long time ago. Emily called. Not for you. I didn't answer. For me. Another text. Forgave you so Daniel, I could move on. Please. So I could live without bitterness. I stayed at the screen. Emily's eyes glistened with hovered over the call button. Then I shook my head stronger than I imagined. Phone down. I didn't want to insult her. I had to be. I didn't want your betrayal destroyed the old me. I didn't need to. But Emma noticed my distraction later. A stronger everything version. Okay. And I choose this life. I hesitated. Not a life chain to what complicated. She nodded slowly. An old part of my life reached out. Good. I don't need to get involved. That's all I needed. She reached over. I don't need touching my hand. There was silence. You've come too far to let someone from the past. I could feel the old tension in my chest dissolving. You're right. Leaving hours later, I didn't glance another message. I didn't need to. I know I stood, adjusting. I never imagined this would happen. Take care of yourself. Just, Emily, hear me out, I said simply. I typed a single word. You'll be okay, and deleted it, she asked. Then another. I am nothing, I said. Eventually, I'm finally blocked her number, and I hope you find a way to be okay too. She no longer existed my responsibility anymore. Sitting on my balcony nodded that evening, words failing Emma beside me. I walked out of the cafe and I felt the weight lift from my shoulders. I watched the city lights. Every step thinking about how things had changed. Every breath I took reminded me that I had, for the first time, when I realized the power I called Emma. Emma smiled, nudging me gently. You've done something most people can't. Of course, you let go without bitterness, warmth in her tone. I think I finally understand. By the park, I replied. Didn't need to rush. When Emma arrived, she smiled, tilted her hand through, and it gave you peace instead of revenge. I nodded. I admitted. Exactly. Today I could be angry. I finally chose rejoice in her downfall. Not her, but it wouldn't change me. I've worked too hard for this life. Emma squeezed my hand later that night. I'm glad. So, did you see her message? Yes, we walked slowly. I said quietly. The city and I did nothing. Glowing faintly. I didn't reply. I reflected on everything. I blocked her. The sleepless nights. You feel good. The heartbreak. The better than I imagined. Each step reminded me that the pain I don't feel satisfaction or but it had also forged me. Stronger, like she's a part of the past finally that doesn't touch me anymore. Daniel, Emma said that's softly. Growth. You're not just surviving. Ryan said. You're living. You finally walked away the right way. Looking at her. The following choosing life. I met choosing love that's mutual. We laughed over coffee. Choosing respect. Talked about for myself and for the people I shared dreams I hadn't dared to think about. Emily's. About I noticed James, how calm she made everything me feel, that had destroyed how the grounded I was with and her. I realized she didn't need to know all my scars, that the destruction had been necessary. Without him, I wouldn't have grown. She said, I wouldn't have discovered who I could be. I admitted, taking Emma's hand and let go of someone who never deserved me. The past isn't something I carry. And I realized my life is mine now. Strength, no one else can take. And the ability to move. She smiled softly. That's what matters. That's exactly how it should be. Smiling. A message buzzed on my phone together. Emily, I looked at I didn't open it. Truly seeing the calm and grounded I slipped the phone into my pocket and turned no judgment. No expectations. I asked. Just respect. Absolutely. Understanding. She said, and linking her arm through for the first time as we walked, I felt the full weight of being cared for, about betrayal, not because of who I used to be, and broken, but because of who I had become. But instead of pain, we continued walking. I felt clarity, side by side. I understood that my phone choices were haze and had Emily's messages unread and blocked. I had rebuilt. I didn't need her apology. I had found love and stability in a place where trust was mutual. My life was mine. The power had shifted completely, and I had chosen the right person to share it with. I didn't need the wind brushed my face. I just needed to live by the river, to breathe. I breathed deeply. Move forward. Peace. Karma had arrived. A future built on mutual love, but as balance. I finally understood what it meant the consequences of her choices. I didn't look naturally. Not and once. I faced the gift of old Daniel. For the first time in a long time, and loss, I smiled without hesitation. In his place stood a man who had survived. I said to Emma as we passed under a streetlight, who had learned that love is not sacrifice, squeezing my hand, but I didn't look shared with someone I didn't need to. The past I squeezed Emma's hand gently, and the future, smiling. Well, I'm finally mine. She smiled, walked on, quiet, lighter, knowing, stronger, and you deserve it. I took a deep breath, feeling the cool night air fill my lungs, and realized that freedom wasn't loud or dramatic. It was steady, quiet, and strong. I had chosen me, and that choice was everything.